Yes, ma'am.
Srimad Bhagwatam, Bhagwad Puran, Canto 3, Chapter 1, Sloka-8. So here Sukdev ji has said, Duryodhan by cheating had defeated King Yudhishthir in the game of dice, had stolen the kingdom of Yudhishthir and sent him to the forest. Even after the Pandavas had fulfilled their word and returned from the forest after that term, Duryodhan failed to keep his word and refused to return them with their kingdom. So this is Shloka 8. Who is going to explain? Sukdev ji has said this to King Parikshit. Who is explaining? Nikita Nana?
Ma'am, can I explain the next shloka?
Wait and see. Shravan, Tejas.
Yes, ma'am. I'm explaining.
Thank you.
Ma'am, so in the shloka it said that Ma'am, so then Duryodhana destroyed, kind of defeated Yudhishthir in an unfair game of dice. And once he finished his part, which is going to the forest and coming back, Duryodhana didn't give him his rightful land and his everything that he lost.
Very good. Now Shloka 9. Kindly listen carefully. Nikita Nana, Shravan. I may tell anyone to explain, okay? When Yudhishthir sent the teacher of the universe. So he is the teacher of the universe.
Ma'am, Sri Krishna.
Thank you. So Sri Krishna ji is the teacher of the universe. Lord Sri Krishna ji with a message to the Kauravas. So Yudhishthir has sent Sri Krishna ji to the Kauravas with a message. And when Sri Krishna ji read out the message in his melodious voice, which was very soothing and like nectar to the ear of Bhishma and other wise men, the Kauravas didn't show any respect to him. है ना? Kauravas were not showing any respect to Sri Krishna ji. But his devotees were there. So who were the devotees in the Kaurava side? Who can tell me who were the devotees in the Kaurava sides of the Supreme Lord? Nikita Nana? Yeah, tell.
Ma'am, Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Ma'am, Bhishma, Drona, Kripa. Ma'am, then there were more also. Ma'am, they
Vidur.
had to. Yes,
Vidurji.
ma'am, Vidur. Yes, ma'am. I wanted to
Vidurji
say.
was one of, yeah, thank you Kritika. Vidurji was one of the greatest devotees of Sri Krishna ji.
Yes, ma'am.
है ना? And his wife also. So basically, see, if you remember, it was been said that when Supreme Lord comes down on earth, actually all the people surrounding to him are the people who were in the Vaikunt. You know? So all are the devotees. So before Sri Krishna ji comes down, he sent all the deity gods and all his devotees that okay, you go, make everything ready, and I am coming down.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood? So all are incarnation. But no humming. So we'll come back. What has been said that King Yudhishthir had sent the supreme teacher Sri Krishna ji with a message. Nikita Naina, please mute. You're singing a song. Oh, thank you so much. So here it has been said that King Yudhishthir has sent the supreme teacher Shri Krishna ji with a message to Kauravas, and Shri Krishna ji has come down and he was reading the message in a very melodious voice, and it was like a nectar to the ears of his devotees, and their devotees were Bhishma and many names as Tejas has said, and other wise men. But Kauravas were not showing any interest to it. They were not giving any respect. How could they give respect? You know? They were not giving any respect, for they had lost all their sanctity and purity. So Kauravas didn't had any purity, and they were, matlab, they didn't had a little of the purity also. Then basically what happened if somebody comes to your house? So will you misbehave with that person? We will not misbehave. We will give respect, even though you don't like that person. So still, if a person has come down to your house, we give basic respect to that person. No,
Ma'am, at least we'll not go and like do like everything for them. We might just say like hi, how are you, and then we might go in. Ma'am, at least we do that.
yeah. So we learn one thing over here, that somebody visit to our place. We like that person or we don't like that person. We have to show respect, because what has been said, Atiti Devo Bhavaha. We have to respect our guest. Atithi is guest. Devo means God. A guest are like God. है ना? You never know when God comes to your place in a form of a guest. So here also, in the form of the guest, Supreme Lord has come down to the Kauravas' place. But Kauravas were not showing the respect. How can they show the respect? They have totally lost their purity. They have totally lost their sanctity. है ना? Sanity. Sanity. ठीक है, but we learn here that anybody comes to our house, no matter who, even though they, you know that they are not good people, they are against you, they don't like you, but you have to treat them as God. You should think that it is the Supreme Lord has come down in the form of a guest, and you should give respect to them. But Kauravas were not doing over here. ठीक है, now this is Shloka 9. Who is explaining? Nikita Naina. Yes, Shravan. Good, Shravan.
So in this shloka, it's being told that Yudhishthira sent Lord Shri Krishna as a messenger to the Kauravas. Lord Shri Krishna went as a guest to Kauravas. But they were disrespecting him and not giving him respect. Um, because they have lost all their purity by doing wrong things.
Yeah, correct. Okay. Now next one. Shloka 10. Nikita Nana, you're there? Nikita Nana. Always remember
Yes,
that
ma'am.
listening to the Bhagwatam is very important.
Ma'am,
Okay?
are you telling us or
Yeah.
generally or
No, I'm telling you specially.
ma'am? That's
You forgot the rule that the camera should be on. My husband is already planning for Wonderla. Should I say him no?
no, ma'am. No, no, please, no, no.
Thank you. Even I don't want to miss this
Ma'am,
chance.
but where is? Let me check how far Wonderla is from me.
It's okay, your mama will bring you, don't worry. I will send a special request. I will send a special request for you. Now, Shloka 10, you have to explain. Listen. Thereafter, when everyone called Vidur to discuss the situation, that time the supreme among all the ministers of the assembly went up to his elder brother Dhritarashtra and advised him something that is literally known in the world of system literatures, Niti Shastra, as Vidur Niti. So, after reading the message, it was they all called Vidurji to discuss. So, Vidurji went, and Vidurji came. They all went to Dhritarashtra to discuss. What is to discuss? That is said Vidur Niti. It is the world of system literatures. This is Niti Shastra. It is called as Niti Shastra or Vidur Niti. They went to discuss this with the king Dhritarashtra after listening to the message of the Supreme Lord. Nikita. Nikita!
Yes, ma'am.
Like,
Scared
ev-
me.
seriously, I also, huh? Like Chanakya Niti is popular, you must have heard. The same way Vidur Niti is also popular.
What? Who's Chani Machi? Who's Mama?
Chanakya. Chanakya, you have not heard? It's a very famous.
Never, ma'am. Never.
No? ठीक है, no
Now my
problem.
father has like 50 books of it.
ठीक है, no problem. You focus here. निकिता की नैना कौन बोल रहा है?
Ma'am, Tejas will say.
Yes, ma'am. Tejas will say.
Ma'am, can I?
Nikita, be a good girl, please.
Yes, ma'am.
बोलो yes ma'am करने से क्या होता है? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
अरे बोलो ना मीनिंग. Tejas, you tell Tejas.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, so later after that, everyone was called for kind of like a meeting, including Vidurji. Ma'am, so then once the meeting started, Vidurji went to his elder brother Yudhishthira. I mean Dhritarashtra, and he went there and he said something which is known as the Vidur. What
Niti.
is that? Yes, ma'am. The Vidur Niti.
In English, we will say system, world of system literatures, that is Niti Shastra.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Mataji, you will do that Shloka 11? Hello? Excuse me.
Try. Try.
Okay, Naina, don't
Ma'am,
hide.
I won't try.
Don't hide like this. Sit straight and say yes, ma'am. Shloka 11. Vidur said, O king, you please return the kingdom to the enemy-less Yudhishthir, which is his. He is tolerating the punishment given by you to him, even though he don't deserve it. His younger brother Bhim, from whom even you are afraid, is ready for the war with his other younger brothers. Come on. Ah. Nikita.
Mummy.
Ah.
So, ma'am, in this sloka, Vidur said that you should return the kingdom to
Hmm.
our enemy Yudhishthir.
Enemy less. He is not an
Enemy,
enemy.
enemy less Yudhishthir.
Good.
He is waiting for his younger brothers,
No, no.
who
He.
is
It is.
revengeful Bhima.
He is not waiting. He is telling that his younger brother Bhim,
Is waiting for him.
waiting for take to do the war. He is ready for the war, to wage the war with his younger brothers, and Dhritarashtra is afraid of Bhim. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Nana, your turn. See, you have to be really quick. Remember? Nana, 12. Sit straight, Nana. Good girl, Nana. Thank you so much, Nana. Shloka 12. Don't you know that Lord Sri Krishna ji has accepted Pandavas as his own? So, Sri Krishna ji has accepted Pandavas as his own, in the sense Sri Krishna ji has took the responsibility of Pandavas. है ना? He considered Pandavas as himself only. He, the Lord of all Yadus and the King of Dwarka, has made all the kings on his sides. So actually, Yudhirji is creating awareness or making King Dhritarashtra realize that how powerful Pandavas are. He is actually making him alert that if he doesn't return the kingdom, war will happen, and the other side party is very powerful. You know, he's telling that how powerful they are, who all are there in their side. He's trying his best to stop the war. Basically, Yudhirji is trying his best that Dhritarashtra return the kingdom, otherwise the war will happen. So he's trying his best in telling the king that they are very powerful, don't think them they are alone. So here he's saying that first thing, most important, that Sri Krishna ji has accepted them. You know, Sri Krishna ji considers the Pandavas as his own. So that is the most important. Then Sri Krishna ji is the Lord of all the Yadus and the King of Dwarka, and he has taken all the kings on his side. Even all the sages and gods are on his side too. So he is saying even all the gods are in the side of Pandavas. All the sages are also towards Pandavas. So everyone is basically with Pandavas. Nana, your turn. Nana,
Yeah.
हाँ बोलो.
So in this sloka it's saying that Vidurji is trying to spread awareness that the Pandavas are much better than the Kauravas.
And what he said? Vidurji has said something. Some important points. Nana, try Nana.
And can I tell those important points?
No, no, wait. Nana is a good girl. She will do it.
Okay.
Thank you. Who is who is there with them? The most important thing. With Pandavas. Huh? Nena.
Huh?
Someone is with Pandavas, which is very important.
Which it is Lord Shri Krishna.
Very good. So you have to say this, na. And who else are with the Pandavas? Lord Shri Krishna is king of which place? Huh? Shri Krishna ji is king of Dwarka. So the complete Dwarka is in the side of Pandavas. All the kings, and he's the lord of Yadu. So all the kings of Yadu is towards Pandavas. And when Supreme Lord is with them, so obviously all the other gods are also with Pandavas. Because Supreme Lord is the CEO of all the gods. So when CEO is in one side, all the other rest of the company will also go in that side. Yes? Can rest of the people go against the CEO? We cannot go. ठीक है, next. Nana, Nikita, you are not keeping your words. I really want to go to Wonderla with you. Shloka 13. Whose turn is now? Shloka 13. Thank you, Tejas, for your blessings.
I want to explain.
Shloka 13. The one whom you are considering as your son and accepting everything that he says seem to be the sin himself residing in your house. Vidurji is too bold to say all these things, you know? That is why he is always going to be opposite to Sri Krishna ji, and that is why you are getting deprived of all good fortune and wisdom. Nikita Naina, you are singing song.
Ma'am, I'm not singing. I'm not even talking.
Therefore, if you wish the welfare of your family and kingdom, relinquish him immediately as your son. Tejas, your turn. अरे next श्लोका देख जल्दी से दिखे
Mom didn't understand.
In this shloka, Vidurji is saying what is Yudhishthir. Sorry, what is Duryodhan? What
Oh,
is
oh,
Duryodhan
that okay.
to King Dhritarashtra?
Is it right? Okay, ma'am, now I remember. Ma'am, I suddenly forgot it.
No
Okay.
problem.
Ma'am, so in this shloka it is said that, ma'am, so King, I mean, Vidur is saying King Dhritarashtra that, ma'am, that Duryodhana is the sin himself in the house. It is not Yudhishthira who's the enemy and he's the bad person who wants to destroy you. It's actually Duryodhana who wants to kind of like take over, and he's the sin himself. He's the bad person. Don't support him and support the Pandavas.
Thank you. And he said that because of Duryodhan, all the wisdom and the welfare is going away from Dhritarashtra. And he's saying that you leave your son. Don't consider Duryodhan as your son. Just abandon him. So he's sin himself. So he basically, we can say that we will not say any extra words. We will say what is written in shloka. Okay, 14 and 15. 14 and 15, who is explaining? Vidur's sayings were always listened with interest by the wise persons. Okay, so whenever Vidurji used to say, all the wise person used to listen with full interest. But in this assembly, after hearing this advice, people like Karan, Dushashan, Shakuni, and Duryodhan were filled with anger. Obviously, after listening to these words, they all got very angry. You know? So who got angry? Duryodhan, of course, and the supporters of the Duryodhan. The supporters of Duryodhan are Karan, Dushashan, Shakuni.
Yes, ma'am.
Who has called this son of his servant to the royal assembly? So Duryodhan got very angry. And in anger, what he said, that who has called this son of his servant? So Vidurji was a son of a servant. You know? And he said, who has called him in this royal assembly? He should be punished for saying such things. He, however, need to be killed, but he should be thrown out of this kingdom. So obviously all those bad words had come out from Duryodhan's mouth. This is Shloka 14 and 15. Okay, Reet is explaining.
In this sloka, it has been said that whenever Vidurji used to say anything, all of the saints and everyone used to listen very. They were always interested in whatever Vidurji said. But when in this royal assembly, when Vidurji said the things, Duryodhan and his followers became very angry, and Duryodhan said that who has called this son of his servant, he should be punished for saying these words. He should be thrown out of the kingdom.
He should be killed. Okay, thank you. Now Shloka 16. Even after hearing such harsh words in front of his brother, the wise Vidur didn't feel anything bad. So Vidurji is not affected by all these words. Why he was not affected? Because he was a wise man. You know? So wise man, and he was aware that Duryodhan is a sin. He is a sin in himself. So Vidurji was not affected. So this is the character of a wise man. Because when they have the awareness, so they don't feel bad. They know he is sin. So why should I feel bad of his words? They don't consider that person anything.
Since it is Father's Day, I'm going out, so can I leave now?
No, no, no. You wait. It's a Father's Day celebration.
Yeah, going to a restaurant.
Okay, 5 minutes. I will leave you now. Huh? Listen well.
Sure, ma'am.
Explain and then you can leave. Not now, 5 minutes. We will just do till 20. है ना? We have only 5 shlokas to do. ठीक है? He just kept his bow on the gates of the hall and departed from Hastinapur. Okay, so Vidurji didn't feel bad. He just departed from Hastinapur. He kept his bow on the gates of the hall and he departed from Hastinapur. Okay, Nana, quickly do and then let's do 5 more shlokas.
So, ma'am, even though he said all those bad things, Vidurji did not react.
Vidurji, yeah? Huh? Hello? Nana? See, now you are wasting the time. Come on, fast.
No, I just told it.
Vidurji, yeah क्या होता है? Vidurji, what is
He
he?
didn't react when he said all those bad things.
He did, yeah. He didn't react. He didn't react. Oh, sorry. I was not able to hear. And what he did then? He left
He,
Hastinapur.
yeah,
Yeah, thank you. Sloka 17. It was the goodwill of Kauravas that a wise person like Vidur was staying in their capital city. So, staying of Vidurji was a goodwill for the Kauravas. Vidurji was staying with Kauravas. Even though Vidurji was knowing that Kauravas are bad, still he was staying with Kauravas. Vidurji, however, left for the realization of his soul and went to many holy places where Lord Brahmaji, Lord Vishnuji, and Lord Rudraji had established themselves in statues. So, where did Vidurji went? It has been said in the shloka 17. Dhriti is explaining.
So in this shloka, it has been told that Vidurji was goodwill for Kauravas to live in the capital city. So after Vidurji departed Hastinapur, he went to realize his soul in holy places where Lord Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra had established themselves in statues.
Thank you. Now 18 shloka. Shravan. Shravan.
Yes, ma'am.
18 shloka. Nikita Nana, you're there? 18 shloka. He alone traveled to all places like the cities, forests, river banks, mountains, etc. Wherever he saw the presence of the Supreme Lord. Shravan.
Can you repeat this sloka?
Okay. Vidurji traveled alone to all the places wherever he felt the presence of the Supreme Lord. So it can be cities,
Yes, ma'am.
mountains, river banks, etc.
Yes, ma'am. So Vidurji, this sloka it's been told that Vidurji traveled to all the places of Lord Shri Krishna where his presence can be felt. Like in big temples and his famous cities and all of that.
Thank you. Now 19. Tejas. Come on quickly, 2 more shlokas. Nikita Naina, you're there? Tejas, you're there? Okay. He
Yes,
lived
ma'am.
a very simple life, ate only the fruits fallen from the trees, slept on the floor, traveled in the form of a simple man so that no one could recognize him, and he followed all righteous principles. Come on, Tejas.
Mom, so in his journey, he stayed as a normal man, ate the fruits like a simple man. Ma'am, like he didn't show that he was rich or anything. Ma'am, then because he didn't want to like hurt trees, he ate the fruits that only fell on the ground. Ma'am, then he slept on the floor and he traveled as a simple man so no one would recognize him.
Thank you. The last shloka 20. Nikita, you're there? Naina, Nikita?
Yes, ma'am.
You have to explain quickly, then we will end the class. Last shloka. On this way, during the course of his journey, once he reached the region of Prabhas, and he came to know that the king Yudhishthir, with the help of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna ji, had established himself as the undisputed king of the entire earth. So when Yudhishthir reached the region of Prabhas, he came to know that King Yudhishthir, with the help of Supreme Lord, established himself as undisputed king of the entire earth. So Yudhishthir has become the king of the entire earth. Come on, your turn. Nikita Naina.
Yes,
Nikita,
ma'am.
explain, Nikita.
Ma'am, in this shloka, it has been said that. What's the shloka number again?
It doesn't matter, you just explain.
No, it does matter.
No, it's not there in the book. Come on, say.
In this shloka, it's been said that. So, ma'am,
What has happened now?
when he was traveling alone and thinking about.
What has happened in this shloka, Naina?
So it's even said that the people who perform their duties.
Okay, who will say me what has been happened in this shloka?
Can I?
Yeah, Tejas.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am,
You
so
should
this
say
shloka.
me. Come on.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, so in this shloka it said that. Ma'am, so then Vidurji, when he went to one place, ma'am, he found out that Yudhishthira, with the help of Lord Sri Krishna, had established himself as the undisputed king of the world.
Of the entire earth. And that region is Prabhas, region of Prabhas. Thank you so much. So Vidurji was not there during the war of Mahabharat. He was in his tour of getting moksha, realizing the soul. So when he reached the region of Prabhas, he got the news that war is over and King Yudhishthir is been declared as the king of the entire earth. That is why in Bhagwad Gita, no, Shri Krishna ji was calling Arjun as Bharat. You know, remember? So many times he used to call Arjun as Bharat.